Hey guys, so today we have this. It's my 2003 AN650 Burgman 650. Believe it or not, but I've pretty much put on enough kilometers to warrant an oil change. Plus, it seems to be identifying as a BMW. And one spot I know that it is 100% leaking from the drain bolt. So, since I gotta pull it anyway to replace the washer, I might as well change the oil. So this bike usually takes between 5W40 and 10W40 full synthetic JSO MA MA2 oil. So I picked up Shell Rotella. Believe it or not, this diesel oil is good for motorcycles. You can check it out right there. JSO MA MA2 for wet clutches. So if around you, Shell Rotella is cheap or it goes on sale, heck yeah, this stuff's awesome. I love this oil. I used to run this in my old Volkswagen. Fantastic oil to run in it. All right, guys, I guess let's get started. Okay, before we get started, I've got my bucket down. You're gonna need a few tools because we're not only gonna do the engine oil, we're also gonna do the transmission oil. So to do the engine oil, you're going to need a 17 mil socket to take the drain plug out. You got to make sure it's on the center stand. Then, when we're done that, we're going to do the transmission. And just so you see, here's the transmission oil. It takes the exact same oil that goes inside the engine. API SF or SG, which is later named to the JSO MA/MA2 spec, which is for motorcycles for wet clutches. So you have an 8mm hex head right here. So it's an 8mm hex you need, our Allen key. Then up here, you have your fill bolt. Maybe, let's get it a little bit closer in for you. There, you can see it now. So we have a 10mm here that's a fill bolt, but this is a really weird bolt. As you can see, it's really long. It comes way back to the transmission. That's the fill bolt. So what you want to do here is you want to crack this loose first. Before you remove the drain, crack this one loose because you want a way to fill it. Then there's a 14 mil socket right here. So right here you have a 14 mil and that's your inspection hole. So when you're filling it up, when the oil starts to come out, that lets you know it's full. Right, so first things first, let's get the engine oil drained. Okay, so I know I can add oil. So let's get the drain plug off. Oh, that was barely on there. No wonder it was dripping. Let's see, is there a washer? Yep, there's the copper washer right there. We'll let that oil drain. And we'll prepare the new crush washer. Yeah, this might be a bit. All right, so I'm going to stop the camera for now, let it finish draining, and then we'll be right back. Okay, it looks like the oil's finally done dripping. Quickly just wipe this away. Any kind of grime and crap away from there. There. And if you're wondering what the torque is for that, it is 16 foot-pounds. So next is, of course, the filter. Filter's right here. Which I can't get off my hand, of course not. See if I can grip it a bit better with my other hand. Nope. How am I gonna get this guy off? Let's see if I've got my wrench. There, let's see if I can do the putt with the strap wrench. silly wrench. This is crazy. Just won't grip. Let me see if I've got a pair of channel locks that'll work. All right, let's try with channel locks. There we go. I got it. No, I don't. Ay, ay, ay. Crazy. There. Oi. Hey, hey, hey. Gotta make all the noises. There we go. Yummy. Well, at least it's a Suzuki OEM oil filter. And, yep, there's no oil filter ring still on it. Good stuff. I'll let that drain out for a few. Okay, I've got some oil on the ring, and we'll thread it on. And there. That's it. Oil filter's on. Oil's drained. Now we just have to put it back in. And it says right here, 2,600 milliliters. I think it's 2,600 mil, and then it's 29. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's got the fill window. So we basically just fill it up until that window's full. But because of that, we know it's at least 2,600 mil. Okay, I've got a funnel with the tube, so let's see how well this works. Hopefully, I don't make a mess. It's a test of wills. Will I spill it, or will I keep it clean? We shall see. It's a little bit running out at the edge of the tube in the funnel. Okay, so there's 2,000 mil. Now we just need to add another 600, which should be about here. So roughly around there. There, now I just gotta wait for the sight glass to fill up. Then I'll blip the throttle, that way it fills the oil filter, and I think we add another 300 mil. I think it's 2,900 total, but I'm gonna let it sit for about 5-6 minutes, and then we'll be right back, and that should let the oil drain all the way down into the sump into the sight glass. I'll be right back. Okay, so it's been a few minutes, and as you can see, the oil level is still low. But I'm going to quickly blip the throttle just to fill the oil filter, and then we'll top up the rest of this. All right, now we'll quickly start it. And kill it. Okay, and the oil level's now down. Now we'll top it up. Okay, I've got about 400 or 500 mil in the jug. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get it in that way. But I'll actually put you guys down here so you can watch the sight glass. Right now I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes, and hopefully it'll fill up more of the sight glass. Actually, let me drop it off the center stand, because maybe it's on a bit of an angle, and drop it a bit flat. Let's see if that makes a difference. Yeah, that made a little bit of a difference, but not enough. Right, so I'll put in the rest of the oil, and that should be it. Yeah, seeing a lot more oil in the sight glass, and it's still filling up. Now to get rid of the waste oil. Okay, so the engine oil's done. Now we got to do next transmission oil. Let me get set up and we'll get started with that. So the oil level's gone up to just about halfway, but I can also see that it's not perfectly level in there. So the bike's not level. So we'll have to move it in such a way I'll have to check it and I can actually get it on a proper level surface, because right now, if this is level, the bike is like this. So that explains why I'm not getting all the oil into the sight glass. But now we can do the transmission. So before we crack the drain bolt, let's crack the fill bolt. Okay, the fill bolt's off. And I think I heard the washer fall. Nope, I was wrong. Just seeing if the washer's still on it. I think it is. I think it is. Is that the washer or is that a bolt? Yeah, it's definitely got to be the washer. Okay, I got to get that off. Come on. There we go, crush washer is off. I'm just going to brush off the threads. I'll be right back. I just printed this actually. Put my crush washers in it. So I think this one is the right size. No. There we go. There's one. So I'll put that there. Now we'll crack that drain bolt free. That's gotta be over torqued. Or if it hasn't been over torqued, it's been in there for a long time. Try with a bigger bar. There we go. That worked with a bigger bar. I'm pushing up, and there's the oil. Perfect. There's a magnet on top, so make sure you give that a cleaning. And we'll change the crush washer. Just like the other one, we have to unscrew it off. Clean it up. Put a new crush washer. Oops. Then we're going to go to 12.5 Newton meters. I believe it's 8.5 foot-pounds. There's 12.5 Newton meters. Or works out to 110 inch-pounds. And here we go. Oil filler plug. Oh, the drain plug. 21 Newton meters. 15 foot-pounds. Okay. 21. So we'll change that. Where are we? We're not there yet. It's that. Okay, so that's 22. And there we go. 21 Newton meters. 190 inch pounds. Or 15 foot-pounds. Okie dokie. Then using a 14 mil socket, we'll crack this one loose. Probably not, because it's likely going to be... Oh, I got it. This is the weep hole. And we're going to change that crush washer as well. These are such a pain to get off. Yeah, these washers are a bit of a pain, but I'd rather deal with a little bit of a pain than have to have a dead transmission. It is what it is. Oops, I threw it away. Guess I didn't want it anymore. So now I gotta get my little bottle. It takes 300, I think 360 mil. It says it right here. Yeah, 360 mil. Let me turn on the light for you. There you go, 360. Okay, so it takes 360 mil, and this bottle up to here is 250 mil. So we'll do 250, then we'll do 110. There's 250. Put the hose in the fill hole. Hopefully it fits. And we'll squeeze it in. Okay, so there's about 250 mil. And now we'll pour in another 110. About there. There we go. There's 360 milliliters in there. Now, I do remember it is a little bit on a slope. So that's probably why I'm not getting any fluid out of the weep hole. Ah, no, spoke too soon. Look at that. We got oil dripping out of the weep hole. We are full. So the weep hole. This goes to 12 Newton meters, or 8.5 foot-pounds. So let's see, 12 Newton meters. It's 11. And, oops, I think I went too far, did I? I did. There, that's 12 Newton meters. There's 12 Newton meters. And then we have the filler at the top. And this one is the same, 12 Newton meters. There we go, I got it. That was really weird to get in. All right, and again, 12 Newton meters. I think that's 12 Newton meters. Seems a little bit not so snug. Okay. That's pretty good. And you know what? I think it's safe to say she's done. We're done. Haha. We're done. Perfect. That's how we service one of these. Got the transmission fluid done. We've got the engine oil changed and the filter. So make sure that we get the oil drain cap back all the way on, or the oil fill cap, and that's it. Right. Beautiful. So the only thing left to do is to take it for a quick spin around. But it was raining earlier, so the roads aren't quite conducive to taking a bike out for a spin. So I'm going to wait for the roads to dry up. Then we'll take it for a quick spin around the block, and we'll have it called for the day. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Definitely not going riding in this. Okay. So we're just going to take the bike out for a quick spin, just to get the oil all warmed up. Alright, so let's fire it up. Perfect. And I guess we'll just quickly take it around the block. I'm just going to get my GPS started here, just so I don't get lost. Okay, here we go. Take it around the block, get the engine warm, stuff like that, maybe take it around town. Hard to believe that it was thunderstorming not that long ago. The weather turned out to be absolutely beautiful. stuck at a stale red. Disadvantages to a motorcycle sometimes on these sensor circuits. I think I might have to make the right turn. Possibly. Right, so there you go, guys. That's how you change the oil and transmission oil on an AN650 Burgman 650. Catch you guys on the next one.